Yeah, I'm gonna get off the bat of milking this, because we finally have the actual numbers here. I get it, I could have just gone into yesterday's video and posted a comment saying, oh, this is actually what it is, according to all the NHL insiders, but I feel like the change of my overall perception towards these contracts, based off of the new information, is so grand that I don't even feel like a YouTube comment can justify it. I want to go out there and make an entirely new video because we finally have word as to the final dollar amount. Finally have word to the final dollar amount. I said that again. As per myself and Darren Dreger, Pierre LeBrun said at 1:26 p.m. earlier today, the Vancouver Canucks have agreed to terms on the AAVs for Petey and Hughes. The deals are still to be finalized, but as per sources, here are the numbers. Petey, 3 by 7.35 AAV. Hughes, 6 by 7.85 AAV. If you do the math on this, Elias Pettersson, 3 multiplied out by that 7.35 number, $22 million. Not bad. And then for Quinn Hughes, if you do the math on his overall projection over there, $47 million for Quinn Hughes. It's not even just Pierre LeBrun and Darren Dreger. You had yourselves a minute later Elliot Friedman go out there and tweet the same thing. So look at that, 1:27 p.m. for Friedman, 1:26 p.m. for Pierre LeBrun. And then you had yourselves Rick Dhaliwal a little bit later saying that Hughes and Pettersson are expected to be in Vancouver tomorrow. So Brady Tkachuk, man, goodbye. He's back in Michigan by himself now because his 2 training buddies are back over to Vancouver. Now it's all of a sudden pretty interesting because we had ourselves what was the initial number. We had ourselves what was a belief that Quinn Hughes would be 7.75 and EP40 would be about 7.7. I said in yesterday's video, hey, you know, if this goes down the way that we thought it would, Petey would not be the highest paid player on the team. That honor would belong to Hughes. And now it's kind of interesting because the magnitude as to which Petey is a lower paid player is much greater than we had thought it would have been yesterday. 7.35 to 7.85. Imagine Quinn Hughes getting $500,000 more than Petey. This is the entire thing we have to take a look at when it comes to the Canucks. Because yes, everything we said in yesterday's video, it still reigns true. EP40, when this contract expires right here, he will be an RFA. So that is fantastic. Great right there. For Quinn Hughes, you're buying yourself a UFA year with this contract. He will be what? He's 21 years old right now, 1999 the birth date, so 6 years into the future, he'll be 27. He'll be in his prime, smack dab in the middle of his prime. Maybe 27 turning 28, I guess, so that's a little bit more accurate. He'll be in the smack dab middle of his prime where he's going to get himself another contract for Petey. You'll likely see him get somewhere in the $9+ million range in 2024-2025, assuming he does re-sign here and does not sign an offer sheet or anything like that. This is a pretty big deal because these two guys have just signed the most expensive AAV contracts dollar-wise the Vancouver Canucks have ever had. The Sedins had $7 million flat each. Roberto Luongo had 6 point something, I think it was 6.9 or whatever it is. So now Petey and Hughes, they're the most expensive, and Hughes happens to be the most expensive, getting $500,000 more than Elias Pettersson. In 3 years, though, this number for Petey is going to be a lot higher, so we're going to have to pay attention to that. It is kind of strange, though, because to me, if you were going to sign Petey to 7.3 and Hughes to 7.8 by 3 and 6 years respectively, I'm surprised it took this long. Like, if that was the plan from the beginning, and if the agents and the players would have been okay with that, they should have gotten this done a long time ago, because right now, you take a look at the Vancouver Canucks, they're over the cap. Yes, it's $81.5 million, but they've used up $1.4 million of LTIR space. Michael Furland, which is that LTIR contract, which is kind of giving the Canucks relief right now, is making 3.5. And so the Vancouver Canucks were able to get Petey and Hughes re-signed without even touching the Travis Hamonic money that will likely be freed up in the next few hours. Because they only used $1.4 million of LTIR and Furland is worth 3.5, the Vancouver Canucks realistically have $2.1 extra million to spend on the AAV, and that's not including Hamonic again. If you get Hamonic involved in there, hey, $5.1 million of extra money? That's an entirely new player. That's an entirely new free agent signing. That's a pretty solid top 4 capable defender. That's a pretty good amount of money, and I'm interested in seeing where exactly the Vancouver Canucks go with that. Especially since now we have that $5 million mark as our potential target should Hamonic choose to opt out. Petey and Hughes signing for this amount of money, to me, indicates that the players and the agents probably cracked. They probably sat down and they were like, okay, well, we wanted this amount of money. We wanted a 7.7 or a 7.8 or a 7.9 or an $8 million deal, but darn it, I guess we'll have to settle with this. the PD contract for me specifically is a lot more closer to that Braden Point Matthew Barzal comparable than I was even thinking it could have been yesterday. Yesterday when we thought it was 7.7, hey, 7.7 by 3 years, that's a little bit more than Barzal who got 7. It's a little bit more than Braden Point who got 6.9 or whatever it was. But 7.3, that's 400 grand, less. And now you have yourselves the two franchise players on this team back in the organization. LTIR space is still intact. You have 2 point whatever million bucks to spend on the LTIR once again. Still. And then you have the Travis Hamonic decision that will come later in the afternoon, I guess. So talk to me in the comments, what do you think about all this stuff over here? PD and Hughes, 7.35 by 3 for Pettersson, 7.85 by 6 for Quinn. It is an absolutely great number to see. I hope you enjoyed this video. So that's Rosén. See, this is what I mean. I couldn't have just commented on the previous video. I had to make an entirely new one because obviously I'm milking the topic to get views, but like, yeah, no, the number is so much different than what we thought it would be yesterday, and it changes the dynamic of the Canucks and their salary cap structure. So yeah, apologies for making another video. I know it's kind of getting old, but what are you going to do, right? Talk to me in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. I already said that. And bye.